Hi there, and welcome to apple cider braised pork butts. So up first over here in my Dutch oven, I'm gonna get my bacon cooking. I have like a half a pack of bacon. I do personally use nitrate-free bacon. I'm gonna start this in a cold pan so that will help me render as much of the fat out as possible. So today I'm getting to use this Boston butt that I got from Brown Percy. This is Heritage Berkshire pork. Amazing. I'm so excited about this. And I really wanted to take this and not just barbecue it, but I kind of wanted to treat it a little differently so that that pork can really shine through. Now, Berkshire porks are known for their superior marbling and tenderness. So this heritage breed of porks for centuries have been bred for their taste and their tenderness and not for how fast or how big they grow. So this is the kind of pork that you're never going to find from factory raised hogs. This is just beautiful. Let me see if you can see. Can you see the marbling effect in here? So one great thing about the big cuts of beef that you get from Brown Percy, or if it's the brisket, or in this case, I have this pork butt, you get what you pay for. This is a 5-pound, I'm pretty sure that was a 5-pound butt, and this is really all meat. I don't have to cut away a third of this because it's all fat, or it's also not, the majority of it is a big bone and then a little bit of meat. There's one little tiny bone in here. So this is all meat. So here I have absolutely no trimming to do. I'm going to season this really well. Probably a good teaspoon of your kosher salt. Both sides we're going to season, and I'm also going to do pepper. Now you can do your black pepper here, but I'm going with my mixed pepper blend. It is really just kind of my everyday pepper that I go through. Another aspect of these when you buy from Brown Percy is these are 100% pasture raised and no antibiotics ever and no growth hormones ever. I think our bacon's almost done, so I'm going to bring you down here and we're just going to watch this action from inside the Dutch oven. So I'm just pulling out the last of my bacon. It's done. I'm going to sit it aside, and while my pork sears, I'm going to dice it up. I just love that sound. So now we're going to sear this on both sides. You don't have to rush this, a nice sear. So I have my mise en place all ready to go here. We just have your basic mirepoix, onion, celery, carrots. I did probably 4 cloves of garlic. I've got some fresh rosemary and some thyme and bay leaf. I'm going to set it up and let that side with that fat sear, let that fat start to render. All right, so isn't that beautiful? I'm going to remove that and just set it aside for a minute. Now into here we're going to go with our mirepoix, and we want to give that a good pinch of salt and a little pepper. And we want to cook this, turn the heat down a little bit. We want to cook this a little bit slower, but we want to cook this about 5 to 6 minutes. Now make sure you get your oven on 300 degrees, get that heating up and ready. And next we're going to add some Calvados. Now I think Calvados should honestly be in every single kitchen. It is so amazing to cook with. This is an apple brandy. Honestly, any kind of brandy will do. This is just what I prefer. And I'm going to do a good half a cup here. And in with that, so they don't burn, I'm going to add my garlic. I could have done the garlic first, but I kind of forgot. And then I want to just use that brandy to help me deglaze and get all the bits off of the bottom of this pan. And then I'm just going to let that cook for a couple more minutes just to let it reduce. And I'm going to add a bay leaf. Now I'm doing more thyme than rosemary. A good bit of thyme. I'm just doing 1 sprig of rosemary because I just don't want it to take over. Bake it back in. So next I'm going to add 2 cups of chicken stock and 1 cup of apple cider. Apple cider, not apple cider vinegar. And then we're going back in with that beautiful piece of meat. Now, I really want to make sure that it's snuggled all in there nice and that my liquid comes at least halfway up. If your liquid doesn't come at least halfway up, then add more stock or add more cider. But this looks perfect. I am going to put the lid on into a 300-degree oven. I'm going to set my timer for an hour and a half, and I'll see you then. All right, so an hour and a half is up. Ooh, looks so pretty. And I'm just going to come in here and turn it. Then I'm going to go back in for another hour and a half, and then we're going to test it. It's going to take between 3 and 4 hours. It's that time. It smells so good. So what I want to do next is I just want to make sure it's tender. That, you know, oh yeah, it's perfect. I actually went 3.5 hours. So now I want to lift her up out of here, and I just want to let her sit and rest. Just gonna lightly cover her, just let her sit and rest. All right, so we're back down here. I've got this on high heat, and I'm going to just let this reduce a bit. I want to pull out those fresh herbs and the bay leaf, and then we're going to add a container of creme fraiche to this. And this is just going to make this so silky and smooth. I'm going to let this just cook down for about 10 minutes and just really let it reduce. Now, before I put my creme fraiche in, I want to do about 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, just to give this a little acid for some nice balance in here. All right, so I've turned my heat off. I'm going to add an 8-ounce container of creme fraiche and whisk that in. I'm going to do this off the heat because we don't want this to break. So before I do anything else, I want to taste. Oh, it's perfect. I'm not adding anything. No, it wasn't my intent to make this really thick and heavy, so it's not. But if you wanted to thicken yours up to be more like a gravy, you know, oat cornstarch or a roux would work. This is how I'm going to serve mine. I'm going to do a scoop of mashed potatoes, and then I'm just going to pull off some of my pork here, and then I'm going to spoon this over. I'm so excited. You know what I want to do? I want to build a perfect little bite. Mashed potatoes, and just gonna dip in there. This is just really happy food here. I'm so excited. I'm gonna go eat mine. Now, I think you can just put this whole thing like on the side with this on the side, or I think you can just kind of shred all of this right into here, which is what I'm gonna do after I eat mine. I'll see y'all later.